All right, Knights of Apollo, are you ready for an epic battle? Because that's exactly what we got today. We are back with some Total War. We've got an extra special video. This is a new mod for Empire Total War. It's called Empire 2 Generals. It's kind of like NTW3, but for Empire. And look at these guys are a little shy. Come on, guys. Come on, turn around. There you go. But yeah, this is really cool. I do like the time period. I wouldn't say I like it more than the Napoleonic era. It's just different, right? And it's cool to have this time period at this kind of scale like NTW3. So we're going to be checking out a fun 3v3 snowy battle. It's going to be epic. It's going to be fun. Get your snacks and drinks. But before we jump into today's video, we are lucky enough to have a sponsorship. So today's video is sponsored by NordVPN. Guys, are you really using the internet without a VPN? More specifically, the greatest VPN you can get on the market. I mean, we're talking like forged by elves. You know, like if it's like epic armor, this is the armor for your computer. It's NordVPN. And guys, you gotta get it. You know why? Because every time you get on the internet, it's a battlefield. All right. And the enemy, they want to kill you. Okay, maybe not kill you, but there's hackers that want to take and steal your information. There's greedy corporations that want to sell your information. And then you have corrupt government agencies that will gleefully trample onto the Constitution and spy on you. You need a VPN to protect yourself against all these evil doers. Look, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, okay? It encrypts your data, it protects your internet traffic, it disguises you. All right, your online identity, it protects you. Not only do I use NordVPN for my PC, I also use it for my mobile phone whenever I'm out and I need to use public Wi-Fi. I turn on the VPN, it makes it look like I'm in France, but really I'm not. And it's so simple. It's a simple click of the button and you're connected. You don't have to be some computer wizard, all right? It's so easy to use. So guys, stop, all right? Just stop using the internet without NordVPN. You gotta get one. You gotta look down in the video description, all right? So if you look down in the video description, click on the link or go to nordvpn.com/Apollo. And when you use my link or go to that web address and you buy a 2-year plan, you will get 4 months extra to the plan, all right, guys? And here's the best part. 30-day money back guarantee. If you do not like it in 30 days, they will give you back your money. It's a win-win. You got nothing to lose. So give it a try. Protect yourself. Big thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring the video. Let's get back into the battle. All right, guys, welcome back to the battlefield. So let's go ahead and check out some of these units and factions. We're going to go a little bit slower with the army comps today. Oh, now it's raining. That's cool. What the heck? It's like got slightly warmer, so it's now raining. I like, what the heck? Has that always been a thing? I don't remember that. But anyways, let's look at the faction. We'll start with the blue team. And I say blue team because they're represented by blue squares on the mini-map. So we'll start with the French here. So the French look awesome. This is the Chasseur Cheval. Chasseur a Cheval. You'd think after learning French for over a year, I would say that a little bit better. But anyways, the French are here. Let's go look at their infantry. Here they are. So we've got the Republican infantry. Look at these guys. This is very sexy uniform. Love the blue, white, and red. Looks awesome. He also has an elite infantry corps. There you go. That they look awesome too. I love the blue and white. Just love the uniforms, man. Oh my gosh, just so cool. So those are some of the infantry. We'll see more of the infantry in detail once we. Oh, here's some guard. Look at these guys. Look at the uniforms, guys. Maison du Roi. Maison du Roi. House of the King. Right? House of King or something. I'm pretty sure. All right. And then we got the General's Bodyguard and we got another cab unit here. So pretty cool stuff. France is on the battlefield. And never, you know, it's never a stale battle when France is on the battlefield. Let's go over here and look at the Prussians. So, of course, the infamous sexy Prussians here. We got the Landwehr Militia. These guys look almost like frontiersmen. They look really cool. He's bringing a lot of Landwehr Militia. I think he does have more of the professional troop over here. Yeah, he's got some grenadiers. Over here, he's got more grenadiers. The Prussian Giants. I feel like if I was in this army, this is where I would be. Just because I'm a giant myself. Elite Lifeguard. Let's go. So he's bringing... So he's kind of bringing a lot of grenadiers, but a weak infantry corps. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see that play out. And he's kind of using the woods here. He's also got a lot of hussars on the battlefield, which you can see they're kind of scouting up ahead. I do hear a little bit of a screaming action going on, so there might be a charge. Anyways, let's look at the final army of the blue team. I know I'm going pretty slow. We got the British. Great Britain. So we got some voluntary local militia leading the front. I personally would not have my militia lead, but I'm sure he's going to use them as a meat shield. And there we go. The shots of the cannon are going off. We got some light infantry behind the militia. And then behind the light infantry, we got Southern England Regiment of Foot. And then the 5th Foot Northumbrian Fusiliers. Northumberland. So very cool, very cool. Regiment of Horse, Field Marshal, got the General's Bodyguard. Got some cav over here, Regiment of Horse. No America in the game. In this battle, or not in the game. They're in the game, but not in the battle, which is a little disappointing, you know? A little disappointing. This is like the coolest era of America. Anyways, but yeah, next we've got the Savoy over here, which is like basically the Swiss, like French Swiss. Oh man, look at the fighting going on so far. Already it's getting pretty nasty. But Savoy moving forward to take on the Prussians. And then next to them, I believe, yes, we have Sweden. Sweden on the battlefield. Unfortunately for us, since they're the opposing team in the perspective of this replay, we can't see all of their units, but we will. Oh, look at this Finnish regiment. Look how epic. Dude, this regiment looks so cool. This Finnish regiment. That's so cool. The Finns, man. They're so based. All right, and then we've got Russia on the battlefield as well. Russia, you know, wearing that iconic green. Absolutely love the Russian uniforms of this era. Russia's pretty cool. So yeah, Russia here. They're mostly facing, it looks like, the British. And here's more Russian forces. Look at this. Wow, look at that. You know, I've really been itching for a nice... I think I definitely want to get back into the gunpowder era of, you know, games. So maybe do some NTW3 and Empire again coming up here. But yeah, so far, as you can see, the pacing is very much like NTW3. Not a ton going on at all times, especially at the start of the battle. They're just kind of figuring out, you know, kind of dipping their toe in their toes in the water, kind of seeing if it's warm. You know, should they commit? Should they not? But look at this, the shots being shot here. Riflemen, scouts, breech loaders. Woo! That is loud. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know. You know, maybe it's not good for the video to have... Oh, wait. Shots fired from the light horse over here from the British. They're kind of running up. I think they're trying to pepper down this artillery. I'm not exactly sure, but I might have to turn down the sound effect volume a little bit, but it's just, there's something when it's like super loud. It's way more immersive, you know? But yeah, the light horse going for a charge against the artillery, the Sweden's artillery. The Swedes. And they're most likely going to get him. I don't know what Sweden is doing here. He's moving up his infantry, but they're like, yeah, not a problem. Inga dinga durgan. You know, I don't know. They just like let that happen. That was kind of interesting. But yeah, Russia is definitely using the safety of the trees here. He's moving forward. And I think now, pretty soon, we are going to witness the line infantry of these great nations clash. And we'll see who will come out on top. And the British still want more. Look at this. They're charging in light horse again. And we got, again, shots fired by the line infantry. Finally, they're, like, defending their equipment now. But, oof. So, there we go. Nice shot there. I like the sound effects, you know. It's not the same old crackle that you usually hear in modded Napoleon or Empire. It's a nice different effect, which brings a uniqueness to the mod, in my opinion. Because a lot of times these like mods, like Darth Mod and NTW3, they use all the same sound effect, which it makes sense because it sounds very good. But yeah, it's just nice to hear something different. But now we got the 12-pounder foot artillery all the way on the far flank. This would be Savoy over here, opening fire on the 8th Hussars. A lot of Prussian cav here. This is going to be tough for the Prussians. I mean, having a very undynamic army or a very one-dimensional army is kind of what I'm going for. It's going to be tough to rely only on just horses. That's not to say he only has horses. He's got infantry, but again, remember his infantry, he went with more of a cheap infantry with the Landwehr militia. So we'll see how the Prussians kind of deal with this battle. All right, guys, it does appear now that the commanders are ready to commit to this fight, especially Sweden here. He's angry. He lost his artillery to some British cav. He wants to bring down the enemy. So he is moving up his forces here. You can see. Look how cool this is. God, this looks so good. But they're moving up. Oh, look at the backs. Oh my gosh. They just look so cool. I love IKEA. No, they look awesome. But yeah, they are getting close. They did stop their march. We do have some shots fired over here. Oh, here we go. We got some Russian riflemen bringing some heat to the British. Some light infantry battalion. No offense, British, by the way. Yeah, light infantry. Like noxious accent there. You guys like that? I'm sure British people love that. But anyways, yeah, their rifles are just out of range, it appears. So they're not able. Oh wait, cancel that. Cancel that. Shots fired. They're gonna try to slow down Sweden. It just feels like Sweden has a huge army here. Look at this. And then Russia aiding them here. I think they're gonna be able to really double team the British. The British do have some French support, which is really strange to say, especially at this period, where the French were like willing to go into insane debt to fight the British, you know? Woo! That is loud! But yeah, things are getting spicy now, as we can see from a bird's eye view. Sweden is going in against the French and the British, but with the Russian support, which they still have a lot of their troops in the tree line, I think they're just waiting for the most opportunity to strike. Oh, hold on. We've got Cav moving forward, but it is gonna kind of slow them down that they're having to move through friendly infantry, and they're gonna make a move for the light infantry battalion. But guys, I just don't think they're gonna get there without being harassed. I don't think they're gonna be able to land a good strike. I mean, they're going snail speed right now. Come on. All right, here we go. They're going to counter that with some regiment of horse. Oh my gosh. Was that an artillery? Was that an artillery strike? I think it was. I think he used a grape shot with a 12-pounder. So really good. This Sweden's cav is not going to last long here. It's a bold move, but I think right out of the gate, he should have fallen back. He should have saw how slow. Whoa! Horses just be jumping in the air and dying. What's going on here? But I like how the snow is back activated. We got more cav charging in, but the French form square formation to try to maintain their lines. Republican infantry doing a great job of maintaining this front line. Sweden is just like an ocean, just bashing their men across these against the enemy forces. You know what I mean? Just like full-on force going in. Savoy over here is also engaged with a very long line engagement. I don't know. There's a little bit of a sound. Yeah, I like the gun sound, but it doesn't do well from far away. You can't really hear it. I don't know if it's just I gotta adjust my settings or it's the mod. But Prussia is in the thing, and he's using his elite guard. Look at this is all his grenadiers. I think what he's and then he's got elite corps. Oh no, that's the French, and the French are going in for a charge. They are going in for a charge, and they do strike a deadly blow against the Regimento La Marina. Yeah. Anyways, the Chasseur. Oh my gosh. Dude, I have performance anxiety, dang it. Whenever I speak French, you just instant performance anxiety. Because you don't want to sound like an idiot, and then you end up sounding like an idiot anyways. But they're still able to form square there, and they actually recovered really nicely from that. And the Chasseur a cheval. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one to say. Chasseur a cheval. Merde. Zut de l'air. All right, there we go. Elite lifeguard, open and fire. And I think they're gonna really try to break a hole through here with this elite corps, and then maybe use his like weaker troops to kind of just fill in wherever needed. I don't really know. Over here, oh my gosh, massive engagement and a lot of cav, floating cav as we see here. But they're forming square. It looks like the French went in with a pretty nasty charge. They're getting really close. And now we got a huge bayonet engagement between the French and Sweden. And it does look like Sweden's going to win this engagement. Well, actually, it's pretty close. And then we've got some reinforcements. Man, never thought I would see the British move forward to reinforce the French in this era. But that's the beauty of Total War. You can create unspeakable alliances. So back over this way. Let's see. The Russians are not necessarily engaging, but they're continuously shifting their units. And they are committing in some of their Royal Cuirassier Guard. Let me check. Hold on. Let me check something really quick. I'm going to go to my options, and I'm going to show you this just because... We go to sound. Oh, it's on 32. Dude, okay. That's embarrassing. Let's put it on that memory max. Oh, okay. There we go. All right, and let me just make sure my mic isn't blaring. Okay, that's way better. Okay, guys, I'm so stupid. Well, I'm going to leave that in the video just in case you guys have the same problem. Always check your sound quality. Oh, that's so much better. Look at that. You can almost hear them. You can hear way more sounds. That's so cool. There we go. The horns and everything. Okay. Guys, I feel like a moron. All right, so just because you are a moron. But yeah, anyways, France. Like, France is all over the place, it feels like. They got all the Republican... Oh, listen to that crackle. We got elite infantry. They're in just a heavyweight match right here. Italian infantry corps. Oh yeah, the Italian. So is this in Savoy? Savoy is like northern Italy, right? Kind of near France. So when I mentioned French, it could be kind of true. I think I don't know. I don't remember exactly where this Savoy is exactly. Anyways, we got a nice big cav charge over here. Oh my gosh. Prussia just like sending all of their cav against some infantry. It's probably wise for them to get out of there because the infantry would be able... Oh, what the heck? Oh my gosh, the artillery. Look at the Prussian artillery trying to support their cav. Ready? Oh my gosh. Dude, it's good to be back playing some gunpowder, musket warfare games. Like, it does not get old. Look at this. Look at this line. God, this looks good. This is a cool mod. I gotta say, this is a pretty cool mod. The French are getting attacked by Cav. Sweden's throwing in their Cav here. Swedish Hussars. He's formed square. He's doing everything he can to maintain the line. Sweden, though, definitely... Sweden got hit by a lot there. And I think if they want to try to come back... I'm not saying they're losing, but Russia needs to really... I don't know. Where's Russia? What are you doing, Russia? You need to go in. You got to go in and you got to put some pressure. Honestly, if I was Russia, look how far back the British are. I would kind of maneuver like these guys over here and push. I mean, this is a pretty good artillery position because he's able to get the British lines that are fighting Sweden in their lines, the Swedes' lines. But if I'm Russia, get some more infantry up there. And it looks like he is trying. He is trying. He is pursuing the British. He's getting aggressive. Pretty chaotic. Pretty chaotic. There we go. The Russians are lining up. The British are, I think, whoa. Did you hear that? That was cool. The cannonball just like flew by and it was like, pew, pew. That was awesome. It's like the little details in this game. So cool. And I wonder if this mod fixes a lot of the bugs with Empire. I don't know if any of the developers are potentially watching this. Oh, look at this. Look at this. The French are collapsing. The overwhelming weight of the Swedes causing a tear in the army. The French army. The Maison du Roi, they are charging in. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. No, never mind. I just assume the Maison du Roi, oh my gosh, I can't speak. This unit, this would be an earlier unit, right? I mean, like, the king, you know, they're loyalists, right? And then the Republican infantry would be more of a, like, revolutionary unit. Anyways, the French most likely will have to advance backwards as they are struggling to deal with the Swedes. And the same thing with yeah, over here they've completely fallen back. Savoy has done a fantastic job of dealing with the French line here. They've got a lot of troops here, and remember, France is kind of all over the place. They're helping Prussia, they're helping the British. Now we got Russia. They're finally getting really aggressive here. And guys, if you're ever like lost on where we are on the battlefield, because it is a big battlefield, just look at the mini map. It'll show you exactly where we are. And you can also see the cool battle formations on the mini map. But Russia's getting really aggressive with their bayonets. And it looks like the British are not going to fall back any longer. Here we go. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Riflemen. The riflemen. They must be out of ammo or something. Because remember, these Russian riflemen were pretty much shooting from the start of this battle. So it wouldn't be surprised me if they just ran out of ammo and they're just going in. And they're followed by some Russian infantry corps. God, look how cool this is, man. These battlefields are so cinematic. So here we go. Now that the Swedes have pushed back the French forces, they're going to go ahead and dedicate a lot of their troops now to support the Russians in trying to overwhelm the British army. And it does appear that the Brits are by themselves at this point. They need to evacuate from this situation and regroup with the rest of their allies. Because take note, guys, the Prussians and the French, they've kind of fallen back and regrouped. And they're reformed here. My gosh. Look at Prussia. It's all this Landwehr. They went with quantity over quality for most of their line infantry. And so they're going to try to use that quantity to overwhelm Savoy. And then Prussia over here is also standing with France, who's got his elite infantry corps. Look at that. That's so cool. But they're regrouping, and I think they're going to... Yeah, Prussia is shifting over a lot of grenadiers to help out the British, as they might only need to send over a couple units out. See, he's not really sending them over. He's just kind of stretching out his lines. But the British are holding, guys. They are holding, and I'm like trying to find the Russian forces. I think they've committed. It's like, what happened, Russia? Your forces are gone. The British have done an excellent job. Excellent job here of just maintaining their lines, holding strong, holding fast against the Swedes and Russia. Now they're throwing in their cav, everything they can do to try to break the enemy, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think the British, has as impressive of a stand this has been, I don't think they're going to be able to hold on. That doesn't necessarily mean that the battle is over for the British allies. I still think that the French and Prussian, more specifically the Prussians, still have a lot of manpower and have a lot of potential of turning this one around. Jeez. That's awesome. And the British are able to save some forces here. And when I say some, I mean a decent amount. The Southern Regiment Foot, along with the 5th Foot, Northumberland. And then we've got some light infantry. And he's going to be able to reform here. Uh-oh. Building captured. Doesn't really matter. I think, yeah, the British, they're kind of using this farmhouse as a bit of a pivot point, where they're kind of just using it to kind of, as almost like a bit of a wall. They're kind of using it to kind of cut the corner for the British. And the British are just going to focus on holding this flank. But I honestly think they could potentially defeat the Russians here that are facing them. The Russian army isn't that much more stronger than the British forces. So back over this way, the Prussians have a huge cav force. Let's not forget that the Prussians still have a huge force of hussars, mostly hussars, and that they could still do some pretty heavy damage. They might be looking... Look at the carnage over here. There's still people like screaming over here. Look at this. A lot of cav play over here. But there's not much anything over here defending the back line. So this Prussian cav could move around and get behind Savoy as they fight the main line of Prussia. Prussia is in a great spot right now. Got another farmhouse. Take it. Oh, Sweden took the farmhouse. And look at this. Russia's going in with bayonets. So looking on the Russian alliance kind of side, Sweden still has a decent amount of forces, but I would say that Sweden is probably the weakest, or close to, as you know, about the same as Russia. Russia and Sweden both pretty weak at this point at this stage of the battle, and really it's going to come down to Savoy and Prussia, whoever can win this engagement. And honestly, guys, Savoy's looking like they're losing some men. They are looking, they're looking like they're dropping fast, but it's really tough to tell because let's not forget. Oh, actually, no. The Prussians are calling it quits. They're falling back. It's actually the Russians. Let's not forget that they have a lot of land there. So, yes, they've got a lot of guns. Yes, they've got a lot of soldiers, but the quality isn't there. Is it there enough? Oh. That is horrifying sounding. My God, that sounded like a horror game. Yeah, anyways, yeah, the Landwehr, can they hold? Who knows? I think what they're hoping for is that they could defeat Russia and Sweden, and with them out of the game, then they can all, British, you know, French and Prussians can converge on Savoy and win this one. But it's looking pretty good for Savoy. It's looking good for Russia and allies. They just got to keep it up, keep pursuing, and we'll see kind of what goes from here. All right, guys, so we're all the way on the from the perspective of the Prussians, the far right. And it looks like the Prussians, where they're falling back in other locations of the battlefield, they're actually advancing. Woo! They're advancing on this side of the battlefield because they're going to do some hammer and anvil with their cav. And here goes the Hussars, full on committing into this fight. Look at this. So notice how they moved up the Landwehr. The Landwehr is just a distraction. It's the anvil to keep the enemy infantry busy, to lock them in place. And then here comes the hammer of Prussia, which is their Hussars. They're going to do the striking. They're going to do the smashing and slashing and dicing. And they're already going after the general's bodyguard of Russia, which I don't know if the general is in this unit. Very possible. Oh, yeah. And look at this. The line infantry are not hesitating. They are full on sprinting to support the cav and try to chip away at this infantry of Savoy. So this is a huge maneuver by the Prussian army. I think this was a nice move. I think they did a great job of micromanaging their army, falling back over here, buying time, giving Savoy a sense of confidence, a sense of safety, a sense of security. But as soon as they walked a little too close, and Prussia moved in with this cav, that was pretty sweet by Prussia. And you know, this is how you win battles, guys. Chipping away at enemy units, just slowly chipping away. And now the entire flank of Savoy is exposed. He's going to be able to flank with his 3 units of Landwehr militia and all of his Hussars. So Savoy's going to have to, yeah, see, he's falling back now. So we might see Prussia's main line engage along with France. More Prussia over here, and then we got some British over here. We might, it's a little bit of a stalemate over here. Both forces are exhausted. Both armies are, you know, beaten down, but this is kind of a moment in the battle where both players, it's like, oh, it's almost like a second battle, you know what I mean? They're like, it's a deployment phase. Now we got militia versus militia, guys. But I gotta say, the Savoy militia looks so fresh. The white in like almost, it's like a leather strap. So cool. That's awesome. So that was a huge play. Let's see how this is going to continue to... oh, wow. Good artillery hit right there. Let's see how this is going to progress as the players kind of figure out what they're going to do. And we'll kind of wait and fast forward to the point where they start making decisions and start sending in the troops. All right, so a few minutes have passed, and it does look like both alliances are, in a way, pushing forward. Look at the mini-map right now. Notice how it's kind of the opposite. It's opposite on both sides of the battle. You have here the Red Army, which is consisting of Russia, Sweden, and Savoy. They're pushing more aggressive on this far flank. But if we fly over and look at the other front of the battle, it's Prussia that is pushing on this flank, and Savoy having to play defensive here. And look at this formation. You might be looking at this and thinking, what the heck are they doing? Why are they formed up like this? And the reason for this is because the enemy artillery is positioned, or was positioned, like right here, and was getting really good hits. And they were kind of using this house as a bit of a shield against the enemy artillery. And now Prussia, of course, they have the luxury, the luxury of being able to move their artillery and reposition it elsewhere to get a better angle. So not a problem. It's just going to take a little bit more time. But Prussia's going in on this side, and it looks, guys, it looks really promising for the Prussian army. Not only do they have this infantry positioned here perfectly, but let's not forget, guys, they have so much cav that are going a very wide flank. They are completely flanking around, and I think they're gonna go all the way around and maybe get this field marshal, maybe try to get behind Sweden and Russia. I'm not sure, but regardless, it's good that they have all that cav behind enemy lines. And here we go, Sweden, Russia pushing forward. And the British are doing everything they can to try to maintain the lines here and not fall back. Eventually, they're going to have to make their stand, right? Really, what the British player is doing at this point is just buying time until the Prussians completely envelop the Savoy's army. And it's going to happen. Savoy does not have artillery. He does not have any cav except for the general, which obviously you're not going to use the general aggressively. So he's got a one-dimensional army where I thought the Prussians were going to be the ones that were going to be struggling with the one dimension, but all this infantry has been absolutely useful. The amount of infantry he has been a huge help. And now he's getting the artillery in position. He's going to try to get it into cannon or grape shot range. I don't know if it's quite there yet, but we'll see if he can do that. Still, even just standard shot from this distance will be very, very useful. Here we go. The Prussian cav are finally deciding to move inward. They're eager. They have cohesion. They're encouraged. They're inspired. Look at this officer in the yellow uniform. And there we go. He's going for the general. And the general has nowhere he can run. And so he makes his stand. And he's breaking from the sight. I mean, I don't blame him, guys. You know you'd feel the same way seeing all that Prussian cav come from behind you. Now he falls back to the safety of the Italian infantry corps. And the infantry continue to fight on, guys. They continue to fight on. Lots of good firing here. They're just, really, this is all just a delay. This is all just to keep the enemy where they are, keep them in place as the Prussians continue to close in and put pressure on Savoy. Back over this way. If they want any chance, if Russia and Sweden and Savoy, if they want to win this battle, they've got to win it here. This is their best hope. But you know, what's really beneficial for the British alliance here is all these trees. They've got all these trees here that kind of give them cover, makes it a little harder for the rounds that hit enemies. And they're just, and it's scattered, they're hard to see. So they kind of have a little bit of an obstacle that they can use to slow down the enemy. But Russia's trying not to slow down. He's constantly pushing up his men, constantly putting pressure on the British, which is exactly what he needs to do. And here comes Sweden as well. Sweden needs to start pushing as well. You see him on the run, push, push, push. Push, push, push. Because over here, this is a major problem. Major problem. And the question is, what is the Cav gonna do? They're still, okay, so the Cav It looks like they were going to go in for the General of Savoy, but they were like, you know what? Not worth it. We're not going to be able to kill him because he's got a rear guard that's kind of protecting him. Maybe he's going to make a play for this general here. He's just going general hunting, and then after that, he could go for Sweden's general. I mean, you take the leadership out, the morale is going to plummet for their forces. And guys, this is where the battle, it gets extremely desperate for both sides. Extremely desperate as both sides bitterly fight each other in these final rounds of the battle. Woo! There we go. Sweden's moved up and put pressure on the British. The British are literally holding off the entire army of Sweden with 2 units. He's got the Southern England Regiment of Foot and the 5th Foot of Northumberland Fusiliers. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Here we go. Now Sweden is pushing forward. I think they might be out of ammo, or they just want to get dangerously close. By the looks of their bayonets pointing outward, I think they're going in for a charge. The British are going to countercharge with some regiment of horse. Guys, it is getting wild right now. And this might be the deal breaker. If the British can hold, they're going to be overwhelmed. They got to send up everything they got. Might even have to send in the general. Look at, they're flanking around with the regiment of foot. That might be enough to save the day, but it's still too early to tell. And here comes the Russians. They're piling in as well, concentrating their infantry, all trying to take out the British troops. Woo! The Prussians are reforming, the Russians are charging, and the British are holding. They are holding. They're breaking Sweden. And Sweden needs to just straight up push over here as well. They've got them outnumbered. My gosh. Are the British gonna hold here, folks? No way. Well, Prussia has a unit over here supporting the British. He's got some grenadiers, which is, yes, they're gonna hold. They're gonna hold. Oh my gosh. So the Prussians send over 1 unit of grenadiers, which honestly, that might have saved the day for the British, but let's not take away any credit from the British infantry that absolutely held like a stone wall against the Russian ocean of troops. But the fight is far from over. As you can tell, there's still a lot of Swedes left on the battlefield that they have to worry about. Russia still has a lot of troops as well that are, I mean, but that was a huge moment in the battle. You cannot deny that. And also Savoy is on the verge of cracking here, guys. They have lost a lot of ground. Look at the amount of casualties here. Great maneuvering by Prussia. Gotta say, Prussia has been making some fantastic plays during this battle and is definitely keeping his team in the fight. France, let's not forget about France. They're still in the fight as well, supporting the Prussians against Savoy. But the French have more or less have not done anything too tactical. They just maintain the line. And really, most of the intense tactical plays have been on the flanks on both sides. And it's gone well for the Prussians, but it hasn't been exactly smooth for the Swedes. But I think they're finally getting their... they're finally using their numbers here. And they're going to start sending up their infantry to try to overwhelm the British infantry. Enemy general killed. Enemy general killed. The Russian general, I think. I can't tell. Hold on. Did it say? Enemy general. It just says the player name. Unfortunate. I don't know whose general that was. It could have been the British. No, it's enemy. So it was either Sweden or Russia. Guys, I feel like this is the calm before the storm. I feel like once this Hussar Corps charges in, it's going to be over. I just can't see Savoy and allies winning this battle. I just can't see them winning the battle, guys. I mean, the British just won't die. Look at this. Sweden's like, all right, I've had enough of you. And he's just like charging everyone into the unit. That's amazing. The British just won't die. I think, though, well, no, even if he breaks these guys, these 2 units, he still has 3 units over here. Oh, it's Cav. And it's the general. But I think at this point, the British are going to go out kicking and screaming. And they're going to do as much damage as... Honestly, they could win. Who am I kidding? They can win this engagement. If they can get behind this infantry with the Cav, but it doesn't look like he's going for it. Doesn't look like he's going for it. Back over this way, the gunfight is still raging on. Guys, I cannot stress enough how important it is for the French and the Prussians to hold on to this main line. If they break, it could be disaster for their strategy of this massive flank. And they're going in. And look at Savoy. They've just trying to save as many units as possible to try to hold the rear. Hold the rear of these forces. They're just constantly peeling units away from the front and just putting them on rear duty. Rear duty. But yeah, they've got them back here, and they're just trying to defend the rear of their army. The Prussians are moving in. I'm sorry, not the Prussian. Yeah, the Prussian. Sorry, yeah, the Prussian. But the Prussian Cav is also moving in as well, looking for the most opportune moment. Opportune, is that how you say opportune? Opportunity, whatever. The best moment to strike. And it does appear, guys, I don't know. They might fall to the British. It's tough to tell. Here comes some Cav charging in. I noticed that there's some Prussian infantry over here. Look at this, some Grenadiers. 2 units of Grenadiers moving on the flank of the Russians. And they're gonna get this artillery by surprise. Either by surprise or Russia's like, you know what? I got nothing. I got nothing to defend these guys, so there's nothing I can do. So this is another flank by the Prussian. Look at the mini-map, guys. You see the mini-map? Savoy is just forming a circle. Guys, it's so over. It's so over for Savoy. So there they go. They're pushing in. Fantastic charge. Fantastic charge. Here comes the Prussians closing in on Savoy. And let's not forget about the Cav. That's just honestly, the Cav just existing is a nuisance for Savoy. Just the fact that they constantly have to worry about the threat of Cav, even if they never send them in for the rest of the battle, they just sit here. Just the potential threat of this Cav going in is a big headache for Savoy. Sweden, hey, Sweden actually was able to push a unit behind enemy lines, but we've got some rear guard Grenadiers, and they most likely will clean them up. We've got some elite corps from the French. There you have it, guys. Enemy general. Another enemy general has fallen. Yep, Savoy's general was the one that fell. So guys, at this point, it is quite clear that this battle is over, and the Prussian alliance, so Prussia, England, and France, they're going to be able to take this one, as Savoy is now chain routing and chain smoking because of the stress of this battle. And that is going to be it here for today. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. It's not going to be exactly fun to watch us, watch these units just chase down, breaking units. But we'll go ahead and get to the end results, guys. Check out the, how each player did, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, here we go. This, unfortunately, is a glitch. I'm not in this battle. I did not play as the Prussians. As much as I would like to say I played as the Prussians, as they did really well in this battle, this was not me. You can see that they actually had the biggest... Oh, no, Savoy had the biggest army. Savoy must have had a similar, quantity over quality type strategy. Look at this. Had one of the biggest armies on the field and one of the fewest losses on the field. Prussia just absolutely killed it. This battle replay was sent in by Guy, or G. G. He played as the British. So thanks to him for the battle replay. He played, like I said, the British. And then we got Clutch here. Clutchy Poo playing as the French. We got Grunberg here. Grunberg playing as Sweden. Draking going as Russia. And then Vanitas playing as Savoy. So that was a lot of fun, guys. Here's the results for, unfortunately, only... Is this the British? Or the Prussian? I think it's the Prussian. No, it's the British. That's weird, guys. It's showing me as the Prussians, and look at unit stats, it's the British. I don't get it. Anyways, definitely check out this mod. You can find it on ModDB. I also, why is the victory screen off center? You see this? That looks weird. But yeah, you can get this mod on ModDB. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be interested. I mean, it's a cool mod. Like I said, it's kind of like NTW3, but for Empire. Would love to see the US in this one. Would love to cover more battle replays. So send them my way. I do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this mod, don't forget to like the video, because that lets me know that you want to see more. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time on the battlefield.